Hey guys, this is Nefarious411 with episode 28 of my Monster FTB server play series. On the previous episode, we started some of the automation for our farming, and I decided to clear out this entire open area in between episodes. And I also started to at least lay out the general curve of the building that's going to be here. And as I mentioned before, I'll probably repeat the larger Thaumcraft building at the end. And I haven't decided what to put in there, but I just wanted to make sure that whenever I create the farm, it wasn't going to run into that area where I was going to have the building. So in between episodes, I created another harvester, and I also created these upgrades, and this is a radius increase of 11. And in order to see how large these are, I put one here and one way over there. You can construct one of these precision sledgehammers, and if I hit, not you, but R, you can see it's just 3 plastic sheets and 2 sticks. And whenever you hold it in your hand, it will actually show the outline of how large of an area these are going to take care of. And let me come down here and take out that upgrade real quick. Hold this in my hand and you can see how small of an area it would do by default. And you can actually see this over here. And this is kind of weird because this is where the harvester used to be. Not sure why the outline is there still, but this is where I am going to place it. So let me go ahead and put my upgrade back in there, hold it, and you can see that I did decide to cover a very large area, and this will just be done with the 2 harvesters. And I haven't decided how big of planters I'm going to have. I'll probably have fairly small planters, maybe a little bit bigger than the one here. Maybe 2 more blocks out. I'll have to subdivide this area just to see how many I can fit. I might just do maybe 4 planters per section, because with the planters, if you look at it, you can have filters on all 9 of these boxes. So there's actually quite a bit of room. So if I only wanted potatoes in that region, it would be able to do that. So I could plant 9 different things on each one. So I might have, I don't know, I could either do 4 per harvester, or I could even just do the 1 and just have large areas for each quadrant that the planter can take care of. So also in between episodes, I went ahead and created this. And this is going to be our maintenance tunnel. And this leads back to the old portion of our base, as you can see. And I'll probably want to decorate this up a little bit more than just the cobble and stone that it is now. And I am stuck on something, so there must be a block here somewhere. That is pretty annoying. That's one thing that I'm disliking about the Tinker's tools, is that sometimes they leave invisible blocks just laying around, and it might be like a client sync issue. So if I were to relog, it would show me the other block. So for now, I want to actually create some of these factory blocks, because whenever I think of like a maintenance shaft, maintenance tunnels, I kind of think of something industrial. So let me create a stack of that for now. That way I can figure out kind of what I'm wanting to make it look like. I haven't really taken a look too many of these blocks. I wonder what this one would look like, because I was thinking for a maintenance tunnel that maybe the bottom area would look more like a drain, because I kind of think of it as a damp, musky area that's going to have water dripping everywhere. So this would be kind of like our drainage area. And then let me try to take a look at these. Well, maybe not. I might just do this off camera. Just play around with the different blocks, see what we have, and I would come back with the finished product. But for now, I am getting server lag. I am going to just place these up and start looking at running some more cables. I don't think that I'm going to need the empowered item conduits. I think that might be a little expensive for what I'm wanting to do. So I might just do these, which are just the normal conduits, and those just require the pulsating iron nuggets. And if I remember right, the biggest difference was the amount of filters that you can have on. I can't look at it there. I have to actually hook it to some sort of device. There we go. Yeah, might just do this one, because what we're going to do is probably not going to be that complicated. So let me run up here real quick. And also, I'll definitely need some lighting in here, so I need to figure out a good lighting solution. I keep finding sugarcane, so I guess this one, yeah, it still has energy, which is kind of interesting from whenever I had it over there. I'm not sure why it still has energy, but it's fine. It keeps harvesting the top of these sugarcane and dropping the sugarcane on the floor back there. So let me put those up, and I'll probably want this kind of close to the center. That way, like, my planters and my harvesters would be able to use this one, I still can't remember the name, dimensional transceiver. Maybe right there. That might be fine. So let me go ahead and run power conduits, or energy conduits, and the item transfers to these two harvesters, and I will be back. Alright guys, so after a long time of just playing around with different things, I think I have something that might actually work. So I decided to go with single planter per harvester. I could change this later because I know that harvesters will operate a little bit quicker whenever it's a smaller area, because basically what it does, if I understand this correctly, it basically just goes across in like each row to do the harvesting. It checks to see if the crop is mature, and if it is, it goes ahead and harvests it. Otherwise, it continues on. So it would take quite a long time. Let's say that worst case scenario, the harvester passed something right before it became mature. It would have to wait all the way until it gets back with the scanning of every single row before it'd be able to harvest. It may or may not be a problem, I don't know. I think I'm just going to go with a single harvester, single planter configuration on both sides. And if you look, whenever I hold up the precision sledgehammer with MFR, you will see that both the planter and the harvester completely overlap in the coverage area. So that's good news. So let me go ahead and run down here real quick. Probably should light it up a little bit. I did have to... Every time I record, I swear it has to rain. Let me probably just turn down the sound, because I think I'm going to be down here for a little bit, so I don't have to worry about that too much. I did have to move the harvester and planters back about 4 blocks because it was right up against this door area, and I would like to have some sort of walkway, maybe a 3 wide path going in each direction, so I don't want to have crops right up against my front door. I think that would be pretty bad because then I would end up trampling my crops, and that would not be a good thing. So let me go ahead and look at all of the conduits because I haven't actually set up any of the transfer. I did whenever it was in the old location, which I still have holes apparently. Go ahead and fill that one up. But after I moved all of the equipment, I haven't reconfigured anything. So in here, this is going to be in extract mode for the item conduit. And this is going to be active always on the green channel, and power energy is going to be insert and always active. So that one's already taken care of. We might have to do something about the sludge. This is stopped for some reason, and I'll have to figure out why this is stopped. It's probably because it has items waiting, and I may not have a place to actually put the items. So let me just go ahead and double check energy and extract. Cool. So both harvesters are set up correctly, and I have the both conduits running all the way down. And if you notice, I did move the dimensional transceiver, and I will tell you why here in a second. And both of these corridors run to my planters. So let me take a look here. It doesn't look like I configured this. So this needs to be on insert mode. And I should probably, let me see if I can get carrots. Let me see, what was I working with? I think it was coal, glowstone, carrots, potatoes. You know, I should probably put all of the essence crops together. So let me just put those back in there. Might do cottonseed on this side. I did put all of my cotton plants on the right side, but I don't think that's going to work out too well. I think it would be better if I grouped all of the like plants instead of having magical crops all over the place. So in here, I want to put an insertion filter on potatoes. I will probably go ahead and do cotton seeds, even though cotton works slightly different. There's no reason why we can't have cotton seeds there. And energy is going to be on insert mode. I guess that's it for now. And on this side, maybe I should just work on one side at a time, and I can just repeat the steps for the other off camera. So let me go ahead, instead of wasting all my potentia, let me make a little staircase there. And you notice that I went ahead and blocked it all off with dirt. That way it doesn't try to plant anything unless I really intend it to do that. So potatoes, I could probably do potatoes on the green, light green. Probably be easier if I did this from the top, but it's raining outside, so let me go ahead and sleep real quick. Hopefully this won't take too long, because each quadrant of the planter will actually plant based upon its filters. So let me run up to the top real quick, and I can turn my sound back up. Yay. And remove this bucket for a second. You can see those colors around here. So light green will be that quadrant over there. Yellow will be this over here, and so on. So if I look in here, potatoes are going to be on the light green, which is going to be that square over there. And I can go ahead and put potatoes in here, and they should start planting, assuming that I have this in here correct. I don't know how long it'll take because it has the same issue that the harvester has. Oh, there it goes. And you saw that it was able to plant carrots there, or I guess those were potatoes. Nice. And carrots I'll probably have right in front, which is going to be yellow. So let me go ahead and do that. And notice that I turned off consume stack. That way this will not take the very last one of these items out of the planter, and that will prevent it from filling up with all of one type. If we have an abundance of potatoes, we don't want it to completely fill up and then we end up not planting any new carrots, and that would be pretty bad. So I should be able to use this watering can to kind of speed things up. Maybe the hoe growth would be a little bit quicker because that's going to be like almost instant growth because it's basically doing the bone mill effect. There we go, and you can see that the harvester is actually doing its job. And these should be continually filling up. And you saw that it was 28 and now it's 29. So we know that these are being loaded because it's going from the harvester down the item conduits and all the way over here into the planter. So that is good. And I am going to do the same with cotton. Maybe 2 sections for cotton. And even though I don't need the actual cotton seeds, because with its mechanic, it doesn't actually break the plant completely. It will just take cotton off the top. And right now, this is going to be a temporary chest. I know that I have this configured to send items back into our main network, but I actually want to capture everything in here first just to make sure that the entire system is operating appropriately. And the reason this is over here instead of in the back corner where I had it before is due to the length and the priority. So whenever items are coming in, such as potatoes, it will be able to see that planter first because it is a little bit longer to get to this chest or the dimensional transceiver. So then it will do that one first, and any overflow, any excess, will come over here into this chest. And that's exactly what we will want for this particular build. So, I still have a couple of my experiments over here, so I can go ahead and grab those, even though I don't have any inventory space. Let me just consolidate my dirt, and we should be good. So what I am going to do is probably repeat the step. I will clear out all of this cotton. It's a big pain because it takes forever to actually break these cotton plants. It's probably faster if I just dig the dirt underneath it, but that's going to take a little bit of time, and I don't want to bore you guys with all of the tedious work of clearing all of those out. But I do want to have all of my magical crops through this planter and harvester. And as soon as I get that and have something to show, I will be right back. Alright guys, I am back and I have done quite a bit. Doesn't look like a lot, but I've been basically babysitting this entire garden, planting other crops. I do have quite a bit of the cotton here. I don't know if I need that much. I just know that it can be converted into string and wool, so I figure, why not? I have the space right now, so might as well go ahead and plant it. if I needed to switch it out, it would be as simple as just putting a dirt in one of these spots and digging up the seeds. No big deal. But the essence crops are kind of bare right now. I don't have too many of the essence seeds, and it doesn't look like the planter is going to plant the tomato seeds. I'm not exactly sure why. I haven't tried this out in single player or anything like that. It's just kind of confusing as to why it's not planting. This has been sitting in here for quite a while. I have indicated to the planter on the black square to plant the tomato seeds, but it still is just sitting there. Fortunately, it is planting the glowstone seeds, so we might want to play around with that a little bit more. Um, but we do not have nearly as many seeds as we want. So I am going to run down here real quick and see what we can do about creating more, maybe glowstone seeds. Don't need the caps lock, but for glowstone seeds, we could create seeds with normal seeds with existing glowstone. So let me see what it would take. I'm hoping that I have enough. I did create this off camera a few episodes ago. I didn't actually do it in an episode, but I was just playing around with the different magical crop things because I was needing glowstone and I didn't know what to do. So I'm hoping that I have enough of these, and I do not. I only have enough for one of those regular essence. So let me run to the chest down here, because this is still not pumping the items back into the network. It's still going to this chest, and it does not look like I have any of those, and I am not sure how to get those. Let me see if I can find weak essence. I can create it that way. Well, we might still have this as an option, so let me teleport over here and see if I can actually create these weak essence. And here we go. Because I think I have plenty of the essence dust. 618, that's quite a bit. So let me just shift click that a couple of times and throw that back in the network. Cool. And hopefully, glowstone. Hopefully this is enough. Oop, I forgot to actually create these. To actually create, well, 39, that's not bad at all. I'm going to focus on glowstone first because I'm still running the quarry occasionally, and I get coal from that, so I don't have to worry too much about coal. I know that there's quite a bit of other seeds that I can get. I think you can do like redstone, lapis, basically all of those, and those would come in handy, but it's going to take a while to actually get these. And from what I can tell, the watering can doesn't actually work on these. You can see that the soil is turning a little darker, but I am not sure if it's actually working. Well, it does look like it's working on these. I remember trying this before on the essence crops, and it didn't seem to have any impact whatsoever. But it seems to be working a little bit better with the glowstone crops. So maybe there might be a couple of other options. So let me run down here. Maybe I should look at the lily pad of fertility, because these will actually help, and this is with Xeno's reliquary. These should be able to help with, Ooh, magma crucible. I'm trying to stay away from thermal expansion. I don't know if there's anything in Ender IO that's like an equivalent to a fluid transposer, though. I might have to play around with that. There might be a couple of other options, such as the sprinkler. Oops, not spring, but sprinkler. And this is with open blocks, and it's supposed to be able to help, but I would need to make sure that all of the water sources have constant refilling of the water, because it will drain it over time. So I should be able to grow out the essence garden fairly quickly, and since these planted, that does tell me that the magical crops for tomatoes is not going to work. I wonder what would happen if I plant these manually. Will the harvester be able to handle that? I can't remember if these are the ones that break or harvest it like the cotton here, because let me go ahead and see if I can grow some cotton real quick. Come on. Well, now it's gonna call me a liar. Hoe of growth is probably a little bit faster for this. So if you right click it, it automatically grabs the cotton from it. But I think that the magical crops actually do require you to break it, just like that. So if that's the case, then this little setup isn't going to work for those particular crops. And I might have to think of... Ooh, that is really loud. Sorry about that. I might have to think of some other mechanism for these. But I can look in here for magical crops. Force crop. I don't know what force is. Cobalt. Ooh. That is actually interesting. I should take a look at that real quick. Let me actually type cobalt. See what it would take to create one of these seeds, because I do not like... And I just used all of the seeds for these crops. And it's funny because the hoe of growth doesn't work on this, but it looks like the watering can might. So let me go ahead and grow a little bit more of these and see if I can get enough of the regular essence to create some cobalt seeds, because this is yet another way to prevent myself from having to go to the nether in the future. And I don't like to go into the nether, so any mechanism, and if that's magical crops that is able to prevent me from going there, all the better. So let me go ahead and see if I can do that. Alright guys, so after working in the garden for quite a long time, I still have not seen a lot of progress in regards to the amount of growth on these magical crops. It has not grown at all. Nothing that, I mean, it has grown. It just hasn't grown as much as I would have hoped. I've tried different solutions for getting these to grow a little bit faster, and nothing was working. And over here, you can tell that none of this is being harvested, and that's because I was getting a large amount of resources, way more than what I would want. And I guess this ran out of seeds, which is kind of interesting. So all I did was add a lever on top of the harvester, and that will stop this from working. I don't want to have the lever here long term. I might replace that with something else in the next episode. But let me go ahead and run over here, look in the AE system, and you can see how many magical, what was that, glowstone essence I got. So this gave me 301, and just making that into this box shape will give me 4 glowstone. So that's actually pretty good. I created, let me take a look at the magical crops. There we go. There are these things right here, all of these infusion stones, and those are needed to actually create some of these seeds by putting these essence around one of those stones, and this one's a strong one. But I know that cobalt, as we saw in the last part of the video, it's going to take an extreme infusion stone, and I do not have any of these other types of essences, so I'm going to have to look at maybe some how-tos or something, because I am still very new to this mod. I'll have to figure out how to actually create these others, because I can't seem to get a recipe on any of these. Not sure how they're actually created. So I think, based on looking at the timestamp of this video, we are probably pretty close. It might be a little bit shorter. I'll figure that out in editing. But I think we have enough to get going. I will have to play around with this a little bit longer and see if I can multiply these crops, because in order to get all of those different essences, such as these little things, I need these weak essence, which requires a lot of these essence dusts around a weak infusion stone, and I need to multiply these crops considerably in order to get a little bit more income of those types of items. So I'm going to wrap it up for today, and if you could go ahead and rate the video at the bottom of the page, that will help me out. And if you like the series, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. But for now, this is goodbye.